we were dormant, and that's the word I'm going to use. Mac and I have been busy making videos, and I don't know if you all know that or not. We interviewed Joe Pauly at his yard as well as at my house, and it is posted on our YouTube site. And you can access the YouTube site by going to our website. There is a page for videos, and click on it and it'll take you right to it. We also, with me doing the camera and Chevonne interviewing Joe, we walked around the Pauly brothers' yard as it was closing for the final time, and they were, the people who are using it were bringing in the cars they're storing there. We also interviewed John Joyce. We interviewed Jed Strange and got pictures of some of the marvelous murals that he has done in the valley. We interviewed Paul Carroll and talked about the Carroll family and Carroll's department store in Mojave. We interviewed an artist from Lancaster who's actually had quite a bit of press in the Valley press. He's extremely talented. And while we were sitting there, he drew a picture for us. His name is Ramon Ramirez. We did another interview that didn't come out because the sound did not come out well. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock, we're doing a Zoom interview of Bill Deaver. And next week, I'm going to talk to Ella Williford Garcia about her dad. And then I'm going to come back at some time and talk about her family in general, because I don't think we can get everything the Williford's have done in one reasonable length video. We're still trying to get together with members of the Lansguard family. I even had Mike Richardson trying to help me out with that, but we haven't finalized anything with them. We're still trying to talk to the Kengott and Loomis connection, and anybody else that you all can think of, because this records our history, and it's important that we document it. Our big issue right now is a potential meeting site. The library is not open for us when we can use it. It's only open 2 days a week, and it closes, I think, at 6. So we have a plan, and I may need Gracie to help, or somebody to help hand out something for me. I'm going to put the mic down. If I put this down, Mac, if I put this down, is it going to do anything?
It'll punch you.
Okay. I don't want to squeal at me. I don't like squealing. If you guys would hand these out to everybody. In the back of Mavericks Steakhouse. Now, Mavericks Steakhouse actually is located in the old Hamilton Hotel. It's had all kinds of other names in the history. I mean, it itself is a historic building. It was built by Ezra Hamilton. It was, at one point in time, Juanita's Indian Lodge. Unfortunately, it was just recently the Zebra Club, but it is now the Maverick, and it's a steakhouse. And John Green, who went to school in Roseman, is the proprietor, and he has the whole north half of the building. And I went and looked at it. The big room in the back would be perfect for our meetings. It has a screen, it has a projector mounted on the ceiling. The problem is parking. That's a big problem. The other problem is there's pot shops along the back. If you take a look at the little map, I have a big X, which is the parking lot to the south, which is in terrible condition. And I don't want people parking there just because of the condition of the parking lot. The other thing is that parking lot to the south is right in front of the pot shops that are right along the back. The owner of the property has leased that part, I guess, to the pot shops. So, I went and I looked. We could park along the street to the north. And there is a big double door that faces north that leads us directly into that big, wonderful room with the screen and the projector and everything. It would, you know, there's a sidewalk, but you're going to have to park either on the south or north side of Poplar. If you wanted to walk a little bit, you could park on Diamond and walk up Poplar to come in those doors. But it's not going to be super convenient because of the parking. So I really wanted your opinion, and I've given you a ballot. It is on the second page. And you can mark your ballot, and there's a receptacle for the ballot over there, right there on the table where we have our books. You don't have to commit yourself. You don't have to sign your name. Just, you know, do you think this is a good idea? Or would you rather wait until we can come up with another venue? So we need to do that before you leave tonight. Just stick it in the ballot box there, or in the ballot jar.
And Gretchen, just for a quick aside, how much are they charging us?
Nothing.
And how much does, like, Hummel Hall charge?
Hummel Hall charges hundreds of dollars, I think.
Per meeting?
Per meeting, yeah.
And
the library was perfect. We pay $10 a meeting for the library.
400 for Hummel Hall. Glendower, the community building there, I think is $50 a meeting.
The only thing that Maverick asked is that we give them some pictures so they can mount them on the wall of the building, because that is a historic building in town. And we certainly do have pictures. Are there any other questions? I just say, I want your opinions on what we do next. We either have to wait and not have any more meetings, or we need to find a place. Okay. So I think then that is all that I have. If I could have one of the kids maybe pass the ballot jar around, that way it would be the second Thursday of December. And where? Again, we could do it at Mavericks. They said they would do it for us. They are closed on Thursday, so they would have to come in, but they said they would. Or we could go back to someplace in Lancaster. Okay, then, with no further ado, Chevonne, we actually have another mic, so would it be good to have two mics up here? Or you just want one at a time? Because we have another one right here. You just need to talk right into it.
Before I pass this off to Captain Wallis here, I want to make sure that everybody knows how much time Gretchen and Mac have put into interviewing and how much putting into equipment, to good microphones, to good video quality. And Captain Wallis, attention to detail is definitely a part of the core group, and Mac has definitely had that background, and the attention to detail is shown in the quality of the videos that he and Gretchen have done. And so I think we need a big applause for
Really,
the two
it's
of them.
Matt. It's really Matt. He spends hours and hours and hours on the computer playing with the software to get the videos right.
I handed mine in.
Okay, Captain Wallis, I will let you make the introductions and explain. And we have the Cadet Corps back here behind us.
We're going to start presentation of color, so if you would stand with us, we'll do that. You have music. Okay, go ahead, sorry.
Present the color.
Sorry, Rojas, have him come back. You may be seated. Thank you all for inviting us to be here, and I know many of you know me because I know you, and you know, it's amazing to be, you know, talking to your teachers and stuff like that, you know. But it's good to be here. Chevonne and we've had a really known Chevonne as well, her family, for many years, but just the last year had a really great reconnection through Cadet Corps. And so I just want to tell you a little bit about the story of Cadet Corps. From our perspective, it goes way back to 1911, which is amazing that, you know, people, including myself, had no idea that there was a Cadet Corps here in California since 1911. It's part of the National Guard youth programs. And as you know, it's very similar to JROTC in many ways. It's just under the umbrella of the National Guard. So I'm sure you also know that we had a great Air Force JROTC program here for many years. Just really a very strong program, and just the events that, you know, changed in our school district led to that program being closed down. And so I was actually teaching at a school in Mojave temporarily, and happened to see a Facebook post talk about social media and the power. I saw a picture of a young man getting a scholarship from UCLA, and I went to UCLA. That's where I did ROTC, and that's how I was commissioned into the Army. And so I saw their post, and I thought, what? It said California Cadet Corps. So I thought, I wonder what that is. And so I Googled it, found out what it was, and I contacted, at that time, Mr. Riley at the high school, said, you might want to call these people, and sure enough, the arrangements were made, and the program was started, and I was fortunate to get to be able to teach that course. The young man in that picture, his name is Kareem Haidarelli, and I got to meet him that summer at Camp San Luis Obispo. And so at the end of the week, I asked him, took him aside, I said, Kareem, what's your story? Like, how'd this all happen? He said, well, in 7th grade, my school made me take Cadet Corps. They put me in it, they didn't give me a choice, I hated it. I didn't want to be in it, and 3 weeks into it, we went on a bivouac for a few days, and I loved it. And he said, I've been in it ever since then, and out of that he is now a junior this year on a full Army ROTC scholarship at UCLA. And so I thought, what a great story, you know, to bring back to our community, and that's one of our goals. I know that you were going to talk about Wreaths Across America, and so I just brought something with me that is one of my proudest moments since I've been doing this, really, ever. This is a picture of our cadets at the Wreaths Across America at the Bakersfield National Cemetery in 2019. We went up there at the request of a cadet, actually. It was one thing I didn't know a lot about, so I didn't really plan, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it. So the first day of their winter break, a Saturday, we arranged and they got up, we left at 5:30 in the morning on a Saturday, the first Saturday of their winter break. We got on the bus, it was about in the 30s, I think, when we got on the bus. It was starting to rain, and I was pretty sure I was going to get fired that day. And so we rode up there in the bus and got to the cemetery, which is an amazing place. I'm sure you've seen that. And I kept telling the cadets, I said, hey, go take a break. You guys need to go warm up, get out of the rain. And they would not quit. And so the final part of that ceremony was that we stood in front of, this is in front of Omar Salazar's grave. So some of you know Pilar Salazar that works at Tropico. And so those cadets, some of them are right here today, were honoring him that day. And so that was a very difficult day, the weather, but it turned out to be one of our best days for me ever. So I'm really proud of them. And so, and as some of you know, today is also the 11th year since Joseph Lopez Pratty was killed in Afghanistan, also from Roseman. And so we honor him on a regular basis. In fact, I think I'll just have him do it now. We run up what we call Joey's Hill, up to the tank, because Joey used to come home on leave. And if you ever had a chance to see him running around town with all his gear on, and he would run up that mountain. And so we run up that mountain, we call it Joey's Hill. And when we get there, we say the 3-5 motto. So Sergeant Rojas, have him do the 3-5 motto.
Okay. 3-5, get on! 3-5, get on! 3-5, get on! Sergeant!
Thank you. That's the 3-5 motto. That was the unit Joey Pratty was part of, the 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines, lost 25 Marines during that engagement in Afghanistan. And so we remember him and Omar and all of our veterans. We're doing a program right now called Save a Vet. We haven't really started it, but we want to reach out to a veteran or veterans and help them that might be struggling with PTSD. And we just started, actually, they're turning in tomorrow letters to the honor flight veterans that are flying to Washington, D.C. From Kern County. So we're writing letters and cards to them and hoping we would like to raise funds to help send a veteran to Washington, D.C., possibly this year. So I could go on forever because I have so many amazing things to tell you. This is the third time in 2 days that they've presented the colors. They'll do 2 more tomorrow for the pep rally and homecoming. So these cadets are amazing. But I want to just give a couple of them a chance to just kind of tell you their story. So I'm going to first of all invite Sergeant Angel Rojas. He's just transferred this year to us from Little Rock High School, and we're really proud to have him. So Sergeant Rojas, come on up, tell them a little bit about your story, and we'll have a couple of cadets share some stories with you.
Hello, my name is Angel Rojas. My rank is a staff sergeant. I joined Cadet Corps in middle school in Robert Fulton College Preparatory. It was a middle school mixed with high schoolers. My mom forced me into Cadet Corps because I was a knucklehead. I wasn't doing so great. I was going down the wrong path. I got arrested once for fighting. Got sent to the principal's office several times for fighting. And when I joined Cadet Corps, I met Command Sergeant Major Arbogast, who is now Major Arbogast. He corrected me and sent me down the right path. Main reason why he sent me down the right path was I was struggling with grades. I wasn't doing so good in English. I was arguing with my teacher, and he got on top of me. And since I wanted to be promoted to sergeant, he wouldn't let me. He said not until I bring up my grades and until my teacher says yes, I can be promoted. It was over a year. I brought up my grade. He still wanted to promote me, but he promoted me to Command Sergeant Major instead. Main reason was to show me that I have a responsibility, that I can't fail my cadets. I have to show them and lead them down the right path, the same way he did for me. So that's why I'm here today. I lead my cadets. I try to motivate them to do the right thing. Some of them are no cadets, but it happens. We have some. They need a little bit more love, is what Sergeant Major used to say for me. Got to put a little bit more elbow grease to get them to move, do what they need to do right. I done this program for 3 years and 3 years of Army ROTC. So I have 6 years of experience with mostly every military subject that we do. It's fun. It's a great time. Some of these cadets that are in formation right now, I have taught them how to do color guard, arm drill, and how to handle a rifle properly. It's amazing. They learn really fast. They're outstanding cadets. And thank you for your time.
And, like I said, there's so many little pieces of the puzzle that are amazing. The gentleman that he talked about, now Major Arbogast, that was his teacher in middle school, was at that time he was a chief petty officer because he's also was in the Navy and Marines. He was the gentleman that helped us start Cadet Corps at Roseman High School, and they got to do a little Zoom call interaction. So I want to invite Corporal Maccabee to come up and tell you a little bit about his experience, especially Summer Encampment, which is a huge, amazing program we get to do in the summer for all cadets. Come on up, Trent.
Thank you, sir. Hi, I'm Corporal Maccabee. I've been in Cadet Corps for the last 3 years, ever since freshman year. So, when I was in 8th grade, I met somebody that convinced me to try joining ROTC at the time. And her name was Lily Shaw, our old battalion commander from 2 years ago, from freshman year. And so she convinced me. I was like, you know what? Sure, 8th grade, why not? Going on to freshman year, I heard that ROTC wasn't going to be a thing, and I had Cadet Corps. I took the opportunity to do Cadet Corps, and I felt fascinated by it. I felt fascinated by the leadership opportunities, by the positions that you can be in, and the experience overall. And what led to this is some of the most important people in my life, which are some officers that I still talk to today, which is Captain Torres, First Lieutenant Williams? Yeah, First Lieutenant Williams, and our now battalion commander, second or first lieutenant? First Lieutenant Quellar. Those three have been such big influences on me because I've known Kaya since I was in 7th grade. And I've got to meet these other 2 amazing people that pushed me harder. When I was in freshman year, we got squad leaders. Justin was from ROTC, and he was put as squad leader instead of complaining about being a platoon sergeant or platoon leader. He's like, my squad's gonna be the best squad. And I just looked at him, and I just smiled, because he radiated leadership. And this is what leads into Summer Encampment. I went to Summer Encampment as of the 2020 year. I became a marksman, and I got the expert medal for it. It took me 3 tries. The first try, I got sharpshooter. The second try, I got marksman. The third try, I got expert. Guess how many times I went shooting? None. I had no shooting experience at all. That day I made sharpshooter was the day I first even touched a firearm ready to shoot. I've disassembled and reassembled pistols. I just never shot. And it just blows my mind away because our sergeant, the Sergeant Federici, he is such a great NCO because he looked at us and said, not a lot of us qualified last year because their equipment was not so good. The position they were, there's only about 2 people that qualified as marksmen. And so we came in with 47 people. And we came out with 47 qualified. So all of us qualified. About 35 of us got expert, 11 of us got sharpshooter, 2 of us got marksman. And I now keep in contact with most of those people because I feel a connection with them. We legitimately celebrated because we got honor unit. We were able to show off to the point where the range masters wanted us to come back. They looked at us and said, come back next year, please. You guys are such a lovely group. Come back next year. I even earned myself a little M1 Grand spent round. One of these days, I'm gonna get it polished up and I'm gonna get it engraved. Marksman Unit 2020. Just so I can remember it. I even have my marksman hat, which I got everybody to sign because we all did so well. So I just want to let you know that Cadet Corps works. Going to Summer Encampment, earning stuff like this, it's always an honor, but what's most important is getting the opportunity to lead. With those, I know most of those people because they're in my platoon and I'm teaching them. I know one of them because of him being a great leader. I know that person because we've known each other since middle school and they've shown great leadership opportunities. I've known him since he was in middle school and I see him get bigger and better. I really hope he surpasses his brother. I bet you're the better Corona. I've seen Garrett put in so much effort to promote that he's like, all right, I'm getting for the sergeants, I'm next. Come on, let's go, let's do this. I see, my eyesight's messed up. I see Melchers every day. I talk to him. He ends up, we make fun of each other a little bit, and he ends up showing off how much he wants to work. And then I see Rodriguez over there. I see a lot of opportunity because when I hear Garrett and Rodriguez, they're wanting to pump each other up. Again, most of them are my platoon. I teach them. I end up listening to them. I make sure I care for them. So at this point, every cadet that I know, and every cadet that I talk to, at this point, it feels like they're my child because I feel so connected to them. Thank you.
So the summer encampment is something that has been going on in Cadet Corps for many years. This year we took several cadets. We missed the year before because of COVID, which was a big disappointment, but they get to do medic training, marksmanship training. Our battalion commander, K.A. Quellar, this year was the commander for the mountaineering unit where they rappelled off of towers that I say are, they look like to me about 100 foot tall. She said maybe not, but off of mountains. And she commanded that unit as a high school junior, incoming senior. Pretty incredible. I told the high school cadets last year we were doing a bivouac on Zoom, so we, that wasn't super exciting. The bivouac is a 30-hour event, And some of that sleep time, but it turned out to be about 20 hours on Zoom. And it was a lot of work. The cadets did the training. We had some good guest speakers, but there was a cadet in that bivouac that never turned their camera off, never flinched, never walked away, and was just amazing. And I said, who is that cadet? And so I found out, who she was. Turns out it was Grace Sladek. And so it turns out, her part, and I told our cadets before the bivouac, hey, you never know, there might be a middle school cadet that just needs to get excited about Cadet Corps, and it turns out that was her. She got excited, and she might be that, one day, that cadet that's getting that full scholarship to UCLA or maybe USC or something like that. So I'm going to call our keynote speaker right here, Grace Sladek. Come on up here and tell your story about Cadet Corps.
Hi, I'm Corporal Sladek, and I have a speech, but 1 second. I think Cadet Corps is one of the greatest opportunities for everyone because it teaches great leadership and respect. And we have wonderful teachers such as Captain Cahill, who's not here tonight, and Captain Wallis. And you get to meet cadets who are your friends for life, like our EXO Webb, who's here, and you learn useful skills you can use in the future. There's also many activities outside of school, such as summer camp, where you can participate in different sections such as field training and medic and many more. There's also the bivouac and extreme team challenges. Many are concerned that it's military, but there are similar things such as the marching, and it's very based on that, but it doesn't mean you have to go into the military. And I do urge you to join the CACC.
Thank you. So, and she mentioned some of the other opportunities. One more I want to tell you about that just amazes me, and that is, come here, Ryan, Corporal Melchers, come on up here. Some of you know Gene Melchers, the Melchers family, and this is one of their descendants, and he's also a baseball player, so I've got to spend a lot of time with Ryan. This summer, you can face that way and stand at ease. He's pretty humble and doesn't say a lot, but Ryan was one of the cadets this summer that went to survival training. And one of the things that attracted me about Cadet Corps when I first heard about it and saw it was these red berets. And if you know anything about the military, if you wear a beret, it means something. I mean the specific color berets that a lot of the special forces and rangers wear. And I said, I want to know what that red beret is. And so we found out it's for survival. If you pass the survival course, you get the cadets get to wear the red beret. And so, of course, it was canceled 2 summers ago, and this year they invited adults to go into survival training as instructors. So I got to participate in that, and then I got to go with them to survival training. I didn't have to endure what they had to endure. They got 1 meal for the week, 1 MRE for a week, a knife, a water bottle, a sleeping bag, and that was it. And they had to live off of that for a week, and they did. You see, he made it. So Brian doesn't wear his beret as often as I would like him to, but he has it, and it means a lot. And I just can't say enough. It's one of the most incredible trainings, challenging events I've ever seen, including my time in the Army. So we'll give Ryan a hand for doing that. Good job, Ryan. Thank you. Oh yeah, he said he has a beret. You should get it and put it on, or at least show it to him. All right. Real quick, I just want to tell you, Grace mentioned we're going to actually XTC, Extreme Team Challenges, next weekend. It's a 3-day event. It's an outstanding event. Right now, we're facing some transportation challenges, as you may know. Our school district is limited right now, as most schools are, with bus drivers and everything. So we're trying to find solutions to that. And then, of course, the rest of it, there's something going on every single month for these cadets The next month we have first aid and CERT training they can do. We started a new program called Recondo, and here it is. Here's that red survival beret. It is, to me, one of the most prestigious things they can get during Cadet Corps. Okay, I want to stop, and I know I would have every cadet come up here and tell their story because they have amazing stories, but we don't take too much time. But I'm sure they would love to tell you their story if you want to talk to them. But thank you so much, Chevonne, and I appreciate this historical society. I love history, and I appreciate all the work you all are doing. It means a lot to us and the community of Roseman. Thank you so much.
I'm going to tell a quick little story on Captain Wallis. And if you were to go and talk to any of the parents and any of the kids, and they would talk about his commitment to them. He is there with them every day after school. He's there with them before school. He is allowing these leaders to become the leaders that they are. And I cannot say enough about how much we appreciate him and all that he's done. The leadership that he presents within the community, and we really do appreciate it very much.
Learn from some great people.
Yes. Just real quick, Mr. Joyce, while we've got you here, for any parents that may be watching this, the uniforms that you see are provided free. They're provided by the state of California as part of the Cadet Corps program. That includes the boots all the way up. The Summer Encampment is a 9-day, right?
It's usually closer to 2 weeks. They shorten it because of COVID. It might be close. It might go back to like 12 to 14 days this year.
Okay, and that was fairly inexpensive. I think it was $140 or
I think $150.
$150. So it was fairly inexpensive. Kids can do this as part of their PE class, so they're not giving up an elective to do this. They're doing it as part of their PE program. It currently goes all the way down to 6th grade, and they are hoping to carry it farther down next year. So anybody that's sitting at a school board meeting that would like to say what an awesome program this is. As a grandparent, I cannot say enough. We're just so impressed. So thank you so very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Chevonne. This worked out. We were sorry that Our Lady from Wreaths Across America was ill, but this was a treat. So thank you to all of you at the last minute who came, and this was really, I thought, very, very interesting. I don't have anything else other than I think you probably would like to kind of talk to each other a little bit. We have lots of snacks, and we have a drawing that we need to do. I hope everyone got a ticket for this wonderful door prize.
And there's snacks, water, and coffee inside if anybody's interested.
Who's going to be the person who draws?
Well, who is the one with the red beret? I think should be the other Brian Melchers. Come and have the honors.
There's a couple of people who do see
Okay, you're okay. No peeking?
All right, are you ready to? Here, let's take the mic.
Oh, okay. All right.
Get your tickets out. Check the number.
Yeah, get your tickets out.
9096773.
There it is.
We might need to check the number. Go up there.
Is it 90?
Last two numbers.
773?
Yes.
Do you have an old ladies woman?
He's got the other half.
7, 7. I don't think that's a 3. I think that's an 8. I thought that's what you said, an 8. No, 773. That's what I get from.
Heck.
Bummer. So, there you go. And Ray Winters, where are you? Ray, I'm going to have you stand up. He actually made that. So we'll have Nick come on up here. And we'll let you get a picture with these fine young men.
Okay, if you don't have anything else, there's a couple of you who came in who didn't get to vote, and so I need to talk to Sandy and so I guess that's it. Thank you all for coming.